Hello everyone. In this video I'm going to talk about general notes first, about outputting the address and the value of a pointer, array, such like that, and then I'm going to talk about the operations increment and decrement, prefix and postfix on arrays. As you can see here, I've declared and initialized an array of type integer, 4 components, fixed size array, and here a pointer of type integer also, and I stored the array inside the pointer p. If you want to output the address of the base address, so the address of this 10, the address of the first component of the array x, you have so many ways to do that, and I'm gonna show you how. The first one is cout p. Why did I write p? Because here you stored the array in p, and what actually is stored inside the pointer is the address of the first element in x, so the base address. The base address is the first element, the base address is stored into p, so now p points toward the base address. P points toward 10. When I cout p, it will give me and it will output the address of 10. This is the same as cout the address of x. The address of x, because x is by default it's a constant array, a constant pointer. Any array, any name of an array is a constant pointer. Because this is a pointer, I can have the address of it and it will output the base address. It will output 10. Okay? Another way is cout x. As I said, because x is a constant pointer, it's the same as p. So now p and x are somehow equal to each other. So the base address in x is 10, is the address of the first component, which is the address of 10, is the same as the p. Like when you output p, you output the first where the pointer p points to, and because I stored x into p, it was output the base address, would be the address of 10. And here, because x by default is a constant pointer, when I output x, it will output the address of the first component, the base address. Also, I have you can output the address like this: cout x of address x of 0, and this is, I think, straightforward. The address of the first component, pretty easy. Cout the address of p0. Again, because I stored the array into the pointer p, so the pointer p points toward the first element, which is the first element, then the second, third, until the end. The address of p0 outputs the first one. Yeah, and that's it for outputting the address of the first element, the base address. Let me debug it. Oh, and yeah, you can see all of these output the same address, which is the address of 10. Moving to the other point, which is outputting the value, the first value. You can also output this 10 in different ways, and the first one is cout, which is straightforward. Also, cout of 0, because it's an array, x of 0 is 10. Cout p of 0. Why don't I just copy this? Okay. Because as I said again, the array is stored into the pointer, so p of 0 is the same as x of 0. It's the same as here, but here, because we used this the ampersand, it will print the address, and this, because we haven't used anything, so it prints the value. Another one, just like this one, use the value, this star symbol, and it prints the value of the first one, because x is a constant array. When you put this star symbol, it prints the value. When you put this or this ampersand symbol, it will print the address of the first component of the first component. The last one is star p. And the same as this one. So all these 4 statements output the value of the first element in the array x. Oops. Here it is. Beautiful. Now let me talk about the increment and decrement operators, or operations. So when you see out increment dot p, you have to see, like, if the increment is before the star symbol, then it will have an impact on the value. If it's like here, let me do plus plus p. This has an this changes the address, and this has an impact on the value, because the star is a value and p itself is an address because it's a pointer. So it is easy to actually differentiate between these 2 statements. Plus the value of p. Now the value of p is what? It's 10, because here we printed it. The value of p is 10. Plus the value of p, it will output 11. Here, star p plus p. Now here it will print the address of p, the address of the base element in the array x. Plus p, it will increment it by 1, and because it's an address, you times 1 times how many bytes in that address can hold, can hold. So 1 times 4 is 4. So actually you are incremented the address by 4 bytes. Let us see here. So plus the star p, so 11 here, because you are incrementing 1 on the value. Here plus p, incrementing 4 bytes on the address of p. 4 bytes, it will move you to the second address, and because here we have the star symbol, it will output 20, because now p points toward the second element, 20. Star, don't give me, because I here there is a star, don't give me the address, give me the value. Another one, I'll give you cout star p plus plus. And also this one. These were prefix, and now I'm going to talk about postfix. Here, because the increment operator is just beside the p, okay, not beside, like here beside the p itself, then it will increment on the address by 4 bytes, which means moving to the next location. Now p points toward 20 because I'm incrementing it by 4 bytes. 1 times how many? 1 times 4 bytes, because we are talking about integers. 1 times 4 bytes is 4 bytes, and here, because there is a star symbol, then give me the value of the next location, and the output will be 30. This one is on the value, so plus it will print you the location where the p stands on, and then incrementing it by 1. And here you can see, which means like it will print you 20 and then add 1. Oh yeah, so here is 20 because it printed the value of p, where p stands, it stands on 20, incrementing it by 1, then it's 30 now, 30. So if you print it again, it's 30 here. You print it again, and then you're incrementing on the value. Basically, this one is on the address. It prints the 20 and then increment the address by 4, which means moving to the next location. Now p points to the 3rd location, but it printed the 2nd one. This one, no, it prints you a 30 because it points now to 30 because of this statement, and then add 1 to that 30. So p, it's 31. Let me show you how. Cout start p online debug. This will give you 31 because here you incremented on the value of p, where p stands on. As here you can see, it is 31. This is on the address, this is on the value, and this one just to show you how we incremented 1 on the value, 31. Okay, that was it. I think I've just confused you a little bit, but if you have any question, I really would be happy. Okay, thank you, and see you next video.